I was in a relationship that I kind of thanks, dude. Thanks. It was kind of messy for a little bit, and then I thought we were doing pretty good for like a year and a half. It's kind of hazy, the timeline. This person was a part of my life for a while, but it's interesting because...
Talking about Nick?
Yeah. Me and Nick were sucking each other off on Santorini.
Bombshell.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, Ari, I'm here to admit it. We were gay lovers and we just broke up romantically. We loved doing the podcast. It was about
this other shit
the gay
way.
sex wasn't working anymore.
Same thing with Fleetwood Mac happened to Come Town. You weren't filling me up anymore. Your loads got smaller and it just wasn't.
The loads were too small for me, man.
I had to
my
move nose
on.
Anymore.
I had to start fucking Eldis. And so, I really loved her. And
how long had you been?
It's the point of what I was saying was it's kind of weird because this, like, we broke up, like, I guess the fall before the pandemic.
Okay.
So it was this weird thing of like, it's so surreal because so much of my life before then feels so far away. You know what I mean? Where it's like, and especially my life also really changed because I went from pandemic to, I blew up over the internet, and then it was like, and I went from like doing okay at comedy clubs to selling out multiple, like my life has so changed since the pandemic.
So the pandemic for everybody is this break. It's almost like BCE and AD.
Yeah.
BCE is what Jews say because we can't say BC.
Yeah. But you know what it is.
Yeah. Civil era.
You fucking know what it is.
But it was not for everybody. But then in comedy,
kind of your fault when it started. In many ways, you picked the start date.
Year one. Hey guys, I have these like.
Well, you started AD.
Yeah,
let's put it that
7
way.
posters. Yeah. Because of death.
But yeah, I don't know.
But this break, but you and other comics too, but you a lot.
For me, it was like,
it's that break of life, all humanity, and then this massive uptick.
Yeah,
so it really is a pre and post.
So for me, it's like that relationship is like it's very important to me. But it feels like this. I feel it emotionally, but like from a time thing, it feels like so long ago, even though it's not that long ago. It's
4,
like
5.
Yeah.
Coming up on 5.
And then we had been dating for a while, but we were serious it was kind of messy at first, and we were serious for a while. And to me, I was like, I want to prove once and for all this really means so much to me. And so, like, let's go to Greece.
After the pandemic?
No.
This is still
right
before.
This is right before.
Okay. So you hadn't broken up.
Huh?
So you hadn't broken up.
No.
Okay.
We hadn't broken up. And so I think it was 19, maybe it was 18. I don't. Again, like it's all such a blur. But was it? It wasn't 2020. No, it definitely wasn't 2020. No way. But and so we take this trip, and I don't know, man. It was just like,
is this you? Like, hey, I want to show you something special to me.
Yeah, and like met my mom on the trip, and like I had met her parents right before that, and it was like everything felt like, okay, we fucking did it. You know what I mean? Like, we came out of this, and it was the messiness was mostly my fault. I'm emotionally unavailable, and I was having a lot of trouble. Like, I was scared because I actually cared about all this different shit that you have to fuck something up to realize. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost
Sex and
like
the City season 3.
Yeah,
Big
exactly.
Rat finally realized, you've moved on, and he goes, it tears me apart. Season 3, episode 6, when he sees Aiden for the first time.
I'm not as up on SATC, unfortunately, but yeah, I don't know. It's like, and we go on this trip, and it's just like, I don't know, something's a little off, and it's like, I think the seriousness kind of hit. I don't know what it was, but it was like, it almost brought up I thought we were over all this shit, and I think it brought up some stuff, and we were both in interesting parts in our lives where we were both pretty ambitious people, and our careers mattered to us, and I think part of it was like, it was just a really messy, strange time, and traveling together is kind of tough, and we both had a lot going on, just, and I think we were both people that couldn't separate life and work, and like, it was a busy time, and just a lot of shit happened. And it was just, I still to this day, I'm sort of unclear. The vibes were just so, in a way that.
So you were in Greece feeling weird?
Feeling weird, man. And it was fun at first, and there was just like, I still don't know really what happened. It just feels like something got away from us, got away from me, got away from both of us. And I think it was the kind of thing where we got into an argument, and if we were at home, we would have kind of been like, taken a couple days apart, come back to it, talked it out. But then it's this thing where something weird happens, you get into an argument.
Can't walk
Not
away.
only can you not walk away, but you're in the most beautiful. We're in Santorini. We're in like the place people go to fucking fall in love. And there's this like pressure. It's not only can we not take time for ourselves, but like we're wasting this beautiful place, and you feel bad because all around you, but we're in this fucking expensive hotel.
That's
Everyone
when you go to get
around you is in
engaged.
love. Yeah. And it was just, the vibes were like, you almost, I felt like I spent some of that vacation disassociated. Like we were both kind of just getting through it, and it was weird, man. And it was like,
Dude, I love seeing couples fight in paradise.
yeah.
It's so whenever I see it, I'm like, hey, I gotta watch them for a while.
Which I can't now. I think I would have PTSD because after having been like, without exaggeration, it was like one of the lowest moments of my life because it was like,
Damn.
because I finally felt like we had something. I thought we were in like a good place, and it was like, and I don't. It takes a while for me to like feel like I'm, to really surrender myself to something like that. It took a lot. And I'm not, it was my fault. Let me be very clear. The reason shit was weird was shit I had fucked up early in the relationship, right? But in that moment, in that moment, it was, and you feel no control. You're like, I can't stop this. I see the momentum. We're having this fight. It's nobody's fault. We just need time to fucking cool off. We can't do it. And you're just in this weird place. Like, you know, when you're like, you leave your house in New York, this happens all the time, where you leave your house and you're like, oh, you're in your flip-flops and basketball shorts, and you're like, I'm just gonna go grab a coffee. And then you like see a friend and you're like, I'll walk with you. And then you're like, you kind of have to shit, and then you're like,
yeah, now you're in New Jersey and
yeah,
flip-flops.
and then you're like in flip flops,
just a little bit more,
no underwear, your balls are chafing, you know what I mean? It's like something has gotten away from you so hard, and there's no fixing it. I just lost, and it was just this crazy thing, and it took a while to fucking get over. Honestly, it was like, it was really fucking weird, and I think it's.
Did you break up while you were there?
Not really, but it was soon after. And like
that laid the groundwork.
And because of some scheduling stuff, we took different flights, which actually was probably a fucking blessing because it was like,
oh really?
Yeah, because it was
I
like,
was gonna ask,
we
like,
each get to cry home. You know what I mean? Like, I assume I was fucking sad, but it was also just like, you know, it just, and I don't get me wrong. I think there were problems in the relationship, and I think maybe.
Yeah, but it could have so easily gone the other way to be like,
it could have.
Hey, we're all great now.
But you know what? But also, I don't know. I don't think it was right. Like at the same time, it's like I see how our lives went, and it was like we probably both needed to be on our own. You know what I mean? Like it was probably better, maybe not as human beings, but for for my career. I don't know that I would have accomplished as much in a relationship.
If you were happy.
Yeah, if I was happy, I really wouldn't have, right? Which now I'm trying to get back to that. Now I'm like, that's the wrong way of thinking. Maybe it would have just been better to be happy. But I just know where I was as a human being. I was not mature enough to know that. I had to succeed, realize it doesn't do anything for you, and then realize, all right, time to try being a human being. So anyway, that was fucking brutal. And but you know,
and you went to Athens and Santorini on that one.
Yeah.
Dude.
And I don't think I'll ever go back to Santorini. It was the first time I ever went. It's not that. I think it's an overrated island. I think.
Is that Mykonos or is that another island?
It's near it, but
those are the
big ones. If you're a tourist, I say skip it. Its biggest thing is it has a breathtaking sunset, but a lot of places have nice sunsets in Greece. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's a little worse, but much cheaper, and everything else is better. And
we went to Zion with List and Sarah and Vecchione after we did the Comedy Store Vegas. We went out there. Norman had to go home, and we stayed in the national park, but off on a separate area. This cool artist house, but there was like, it wasn't the famous hikes, but it was in our backyard.
Yeah,
and
dude.
literally 0 people were there.
That's incredible.
So you're like, This A- is fucking great.
Right.
With no Chinese fucking picture takers.
And yeah, exactly. It's better.
Yeah.
Because it has none of the other shit. And also other places are cheaper. But anyway.
Yeah.
Poison, like, I feel like there's like I feel some real fucked up energy towards that island, you know? I don't know that I'll ever go back. I don't know if, you know? And
there's too many other islands.
Too many other islands. Good point. And then, and that kind of fucked Greece up for me a little bit, but
oh, right, but that's that I was about to say, like, don't say I'm not going back to Greece.
No.
Just take it out on the island.
Totally. I really, because the island kind of sucked anyway.
Where you been and where you going? This is Ari's travel show, yeah. We're gonna go on a journey today and see what there's to see in this big world. We're exploring different places, seeing all different types of faces. We're gonna talk about travel today. It's UB Trip.